Hi, thank you for joining us. In this tutorial we're going to show you a foolproof technique to dry pack and float a perfectly sloped shower pan like you see here. This is an extremely common home improvement project. We've removed a standard 5-foot tub, installed a step over curb, hung HardieBacker, and waterproofed what will be a new walk-in shower. There are a lot of videos showing several different methods to properly prepping and waterproofing a new shower, so I'm going to assume that you've gotten to this point and you're looking for more detail related to specifically floating your shower pan. But I will mention that I use Laticrete Hydroban for my waterproofing, and that's the green product that you see here. You've probably noticed the line that I have marked on my new shower walls. That line is marked at 12 inches up from the bottom of my shower pan. I plan on having 2 inches of mortar built up around the perimeter of my pan. So if I take a measurement from that line to the top of my new mortar pan and I have a reading of 10 inches, I know then that I have 2 inches of thickness. And if I maintain a 10-inch reading around the perimeter of my pan, my shower pan will be level at my walls around the perimeter. Use that same theory on the inside of your shower curve, only use the top of your shower curve as your control line. Now my shower drain, right now its height is at 1 1/4. That's 3/4 of an inch lower than the perimeter of my shower pan mud. 3/4 of an inch is an extremely minimal slope. If you made your shower curve higher, you can make the thickness of your perimeter thicker, which would give you in turn a more aggressive slope. You're going to need Quikrete mortar mix, also known as a green bag. This particular shower pan took 4 bags. Pick this up at Home Depot or your local hardware store. When mixing, take a handful of mud, form it into a ball. If it holds its shape, that's the consistency you're looking for. They call it a dry pack because you use less water in your mix than you usually would in any other application. In the actual floating process, you're going to need a few different tools. What they call mag float, a flat metal float, a wood float, a flat wooden float, a bucket of water, a sponge, and knee pads. You're going to start by forming a mound of mortar around the perimeter of your shower pan. You're going to build this mound high. Then you're going to pack that down with your float. Hence again, dry pack. So you got the dry mud. You're going to beat and tamper down with your mound float or your wooden float. So you want to build that kind of high and then beat it down to your 2-inch thickness. Here I think we're about to pull out our tape measure, take a measurement off of our mark, see how close we are. And for our first go at it, we're just about there. Now this technique that you see me doing here, forming a rail around the perimeter, right here, this is about as basic as it gets with this 5-foot tub opening. But you can use this same technique on any size shower pan, any shape, any size. I've done this out on full pool decks and lanais. Anything that you need to build a slope to set on, and you can't go wrong. So there you go. So keep building your way around the perimeter of your pan. Take your time with it. Work everything to a flat, level plane. Once you get your technique down, it takes a little bit of practice, but you get pretty quick at it. This whole pan itself only took me about 2 hours start to finish. If this is your first time, it'd probably take you quite a bit longer, but it's all in the learning curve. I'm about to connect my lines now. So now I'm going to run a line from the perimeter to my shower pan drain. My drain is 3/4 of an inch lower than my perimeter, so I know if I end up with a line that's flush from the perimeter and flush at my drain, then that line is sloping 3/4 of an inch down. I'm going to connect one long line from the back of my shower pan all the way down to the shower drain. Take a straight edge, check it, working it back and forth, making sure I don't have any high spots or low spots. But I know now that this line is running 3/4 of an inch down to my drain. So if I connect lines from the perimeter to that sloping long line there in the center, all these lines are running downhill, all running down to my drain. From here, it's just a matter of filling in the holes. You know, filling the holes. It's point to point. Work your mud down just like you have everything else this far. Pack it down. Fill in your what we could call cells. Work them flat. You know, fill them in as you go. Work your way down towards your drain, pulling everything downhill towards the drain. Work everything in a downward motion towards the drain. There you have a completed shower pan. Nice, flat, perfect slope. Ended up flush at my drain. You'll see why in a minute here. But float everything flush to that drain. My drain is taped off. I'm not hurting the drain any. But I'm going to break that loose tomorrow. You'll see how. Take a view around the pan. There's the face of my curb. The finished height of my curb there, once I throw my 1/2 inch cap on there, I end up somewhere around 1.5 inches on the inside of that curb. Plenty high to hold any water that's going to be catching here in my pan. Okay, there we have a sloped shower pan. Let's see about breaking this drain free. I use Makita lock nut tool for this, but you can use anything you have laying around, a screwdriver, just anything that fits in that hole and you can tap with your hammer. So right now you see I'm tapping it lightly with a hammer and it breaks itself free. Once it's loose, you can raise it by hand. You want to raise it up to just the thickness of your tile. So if you have 1/4 inch tile, raise it up to 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch tile, raise it up a 1/2 inch. But since you floated flush to that drain all the way around the perimeter, when you raise that drain up a 1/4 inch, it's consistently a 1/4 inch around the perimeter. Or if you're working with 1/2 inch stone, you raise it up a 1/2 inch. Your 1/2 inch stone is going to work all the way around that drain.